Alright, it seems like Geek for Geeks has suddenly disappeared out of the Google search engine. So for example, if I just search Geek for Geeks, then over here you can see Geek for Geeks, but that's not naturally coming from the search engine. This is just a sponsored Geek for Geeks website link that's coming up over here because they might be running Google ads on this, but it doesn't naturally come up. So if I scroll down, you can see there is no Geek for Geeks anywhere, nowhere at all. Previously, it always used to come without the sponsored tag as well. For example, to give you a proper overview, previously, every time I used to search for any data structure algorithm question, there always used to be a Geeks for Geeks link in the first page of the Google search result. But now it won't even come up in the first page of the Google search result. Not only in the first page, it used to come at the top. But now I'll show you if I search for Geeks. Let me just remove this. Instead, I'll search for, let's say, reverse string GFG, and when I press enter, you see, despite of even mentioning I want specifically from Geek for Geeks the reverse string problem, there is no article of Geek for Geeks present anywhere over here in the first page. Not only in the first page, not anywhere in any page at all. So even if I specify Geeks for Geeks, it still isn't available anywhere over here. So now let's say instead of this, I search for contains duplicate question Geek for Geeks. That is also not available. The one in lead code is available. So as you can see, something has really happened which has caused Geeks for Geeks to completely derail off Google search. But if you go to their actual website, geeksforgeeks.org, then you can actually come here and search for it. But anywhere else via the Google search engine, you won't be able to access this website. So why could have this happened? Also, in fact, you can see here it says important notice due to temporary issues with Google search, our site may not appear in results. Please use the search below to find your desired articles. Now, the word on the street is that the reason behind this happening, the reason behind Geeks for Geeks not being available in Google search could be that their content doesn't align with Google's policies. For example, Geeks for Geeks claims that they are a learning website. They provide content on different programming related topics. For example, DSA, ML, full stack live classes and so on. But primarily it's been said that Google isn't being able to see this alignment that Geeks for Geeks claims to be a website correlated to only programming content. Now, I'm also not sure how, because as much as I have explored through Geeks for Geeks, it seems like they literally only have programming content, and I'm not sure how this isn't aligning with Google's search engine moral code, because if you go anywhere in Geek for Geeks, you'll see most of the content, or pretty much all of the content, is related to programming or computer vision, AI, data analysis, and all that. So it's pretty weird and also dangerous for your own website, if you have any, due to the fact that Google search engine holds this huge monopoly where based on their own decision, your site could get completely wiped out for existence even if it's not. So for example, even if your site actually is present, it won't be searchable at all, and this could cause so much loss, such a deep scar to the brand value, and overall impact your business so heavily. So I personally think Geeks for Geeks is a great website. It is not a website where you come to study things in depth, but rather a website where you come to see things quickly and grasp concepts quickly, or grasp snippets of code and figure things out quickly. It's not a place where you learn things in depth, but still it definitely helps. And it's sad to see a content producing website being harmed like this. It could also be the fact that if by any chance the content that's being produced in Geek for Geeks, let's say most of the articles, they could be AI generated, and maybe Google has some problems with that. But I am not sure why Google would have problems with AI generated content, because Google itself shows an AI overview of every Google search you do on Google itself. So for example, let's say I was supposed to write how to reverse a string. So okay, I'm not getting that over here. But let's say I write a different type of question. For example, what happened to GFG? So here Google shows an AI overview of your search from different sources. So I think to an extent as well, if you have some level of AI generated code in your content, it's going to help rank in Google search as well. So just to go further on this, if you know, there's something called robots.txt, which if I just search robots.txt, this is a file placed in the root directory of a website that instructs search engine crawlers on which URLs they can and cannot access. Alright. Similarly, there's something new that's come out, which is known as LLMs.txt. So this is basically going to be used to provide information to help LLMs use a website at inference time. So if you have an llms.txt file in your project or in your application, that is going to help LLMs crawl your content or your website better. And with things becoming hyperfast due to AI, because people use AI so much these days to produce content like videos, images, and so on, everyone is going to jump up on this train and use some form of AI for their content, even if it's articles. And adding an llms.txt file is also going to help AI to search your content better. And why not use AI to write your content up to some extent so that AI models can even crawl your content better? I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? If your article is kind of generated via AI, then your llms.txt or your models might also refer to those AI generated text while performing any sort of search, because of the familiarity that the AI would find with content generated by AI. So I'm not sure if Geek4Geeks got wiped out from the search engine due to AI generated content, because I think every website uses that nowadays. I think it's more because for some reason Google thought the moral alignment of what Geeks4Geeks website claims to be isn't what it seems to be, and Google would like them to fix that part somehow. So this seems like a temporary thing, because apparently the Geek4Geeks team said that they are also working on it, but it's a huge reminder that if you run your own website, you should also be aware of these issues, because you could fall into this trap anytime. Alright, so with that, that's all for the video. If you found it insightful, drop a like and subscribe for more.